Christian Bale was preparing for his role in American Psycho, dressing the part, hitting the gym, getting his teeth redone. There was just one problem. He didn't actually have the part. Leonardo DiCaprio did. What Went Wrong is a podcast dedicated to the idea that every movie is a miracle. Join Lizzie Bassett and Chris Winterbauer every other week as they unearth the chaos and humanity behind Hollywood's biggest flops and most shocking successes. They aren't here to dunk on your favorite films. They're here to celebrate movies. As the New York Times said, they're movie industry people who truly love films and the people who make them. Listen to What Went Wrong wherever you get your podcasts. This episode of One Hit Thunder is brought to you by DistroKid.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
In this episode, we're joined by special guest Scott Mellinger to explore Del Shannon's 1961 chart-topping hit, Runaway. This early rock and roll classic is renowned for its haunting falsetto vocals and the groundbreaking Musitron solo, a keyboard instrument invented by Shannon's collaborator, Max Crook, that added a futuristic flair to the track. Beyond this iconic song, we explore Del's deep connections within the music industry, including collaborations with legends like Jeff Lynne, Tom Petty, and Bob Seger. Join us as we uncover why Del Shannon remains a musician's musician and discuss whether his musical legacy extends beyond his most famous hit.
She ran away, and I wonder where she will stay, my little runaway. One hit is all you need to make the money guaranteed, and you can live off royalties forever. And it makes me wonder, is it just a wonder, or is it one hit thunder?
Scott, welcome back to the show. I feel like you always bring an artist or a song that there's so much, like, I think this was, we're doing a group of recordings of episodes. This is the one where I was like, damn, there's a lot of story here with Del Shannon.
I hope I can even remotely keep up with you guys.
Oh, you can keep up.
I know enough. My dad loved this song, and there's some, tragedy in it too, but yeah, I'm excited to get into the weeds with this.
Yeah, this has a lot of aspects of what you would expect of an artist who was like from the 60s or whatever. Del Shannon, funny enough, real name, Charles Whedon Westover. I mean, Charles Westover, is that really that much worse of a name than Del Shannon? I guess Del Shannon rolls off the tongue a little more.
Yeah. I'm trying to see where it is in my notes. There was like a story of how he got his new name, and it was such like a random
we'll get to
collection of things.
It comes, we'll get to it. I have it on here. Runaway, of course, was his song. It was a #1 hit song in 1961, later covered by Elvis. If Elvis is covering your song, you must have done something right for Elvis to be doing. And then also later covered by the Traveling Wilburys, which we'll get into. He's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee in 1999. All this stuff for a guy that I feel like is a little under the radar.
Yeah, when I was doing the research, I felt like, this is like a musician's musician.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like all of the people in powerful places really loved and respected this dude.
Yeah. He was born in Michigan in 1934, and learned to play the ukulele and guitar and was into music like Hank Williams and stuff. But this is where it gets into like, this is very 50s and 60s. He was drafted into the Army in 1954. And while he was in Germany, he played guitar in a band called the Cool Flames. After his service ended, he returned back to Michigan and worked as a carpet salesman and a truck driver for a furniture factory. So right there, Scott, I feel like we got the underdog story.
I mean, look at this. And he went and served and he didn't try to get out of it. How wonderful is that?
Yeah.
How many of these artists act like they're tough guys and they never went over there?
He's the real deal. And he's a working man. I got to respect a working man.
Yes, you do. Yes.
Who is going to do some manual labor and also still pursue.
Yeah, part-time, still playing bands, probably playing on the weekends, whatever. He's a weekend warrior, as they say.
Exactly what he was doing, because he found part-time work while he's a carpet salesman and a truck driver for the furniture factory. Part-time work as a rhythm guitarist for the Moonlight Ramblers, a band that was led by a singer named Doug DeMott. In 1958, however, Doug DeMott was fired from the band for drunkenness. Reasonable reason to be fired for a band. And at this time, he was not yet Del Shannon. We're still talking about Charles Westover. He took over as leader of the band and singer, giving himself... I love how this guy kept having alter egos.
Yep.
At that point, he became Charlie Johnson, and he renamed the band the Big Little Show Band.
Ooh, I don't like the other one was better. I don't like that name.
Yeah, the Cool Flames is a little better than the Big Little Show Band. Think about this in like the 50s and 60s. Think about it. Scott and I have been in this position before. We're like, we got to think of a band name. And it feels like everything is taken. In the 50s and 60s, I still feel like everything's on the table at this point.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of options still out there.
Well, as we know, the camel crickets is still an option.
The camel crickets. We talked about this recently, Scott. Do you know what a camel cricket is?
I know what a camel spider is.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Oh.
It's like it's a camel spider mixed with a cricket.
Well, wait a second, though. A camel spider, though, those are the scary-ass ones that are in, like, other countries, right?
Yeah, Australia has them.
Yes.
And they're unless they're AI generated, those things are like 3
They're gigantic.
feet, right?
Yeah, this is
like 2
also
feet.
considered an invasive species to the United States, but it is in the United States. It is a cricket. It's a cricket larger than a normal cricket. It's usually about that big.
I don't like it.
And it has spider-like legs in the back that allows it to leap forward at random.
I don't like any of this.
Yeah, well, Matt claims that these camel crickets are in Philadelphia.
Oh,
They've been in my parents' basement to the point that the way that my dad would take care of it. This was the nightmare of my life when I lived at my parents' house, because their basement was my recording studio. And like they tried traps, they tried all types of stuff. The only thing that worked was my dad laying duct tape upside down on the ground, so when it would jump, it would stick to the duct tape. So I'd be recording, and all of a sudden, I'd just see a piece of duct tape like awkwardly skipping across the ground because it got stuck on it, and was like.
How have we lived in Pennsylvania our whole lives, and I've never heard of this before?
Yeah, I mean, he's over on that other the weird
side. Yeah.
He's on the weird side of Pennsylvania. We don't have, although I will say,
I was going to say, I don't have snakes and bats around my house all the time.
Scott, I got to tell everybody, Scott was walking in, and I pulled my car down around, and I didn't park in my garage because there is currently a bat in my garage. Below, right where we're recording right now, below in my garage.
He's listening to this podcast in real time.
Yeah.
With his great ears.
So there's a chance that it can get into the house.
Oh, it will. It will get into the house eventually. They all do. And there's nothing I can do about it, and my cat always kills them.
Okay.
But it also is super creepy when there's a bat flying around in your house in the middle of the night. The other night, a couple nights ago, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I hear my boy cat, Zeke. I just hear, Whoa. The next second, I'm like, what is going on? I turn the lamp on, and he's sitting next to the bed with a bat in his mouth.
Oh, dude.
I mean,
wow.
I can't imagine putting a bat in my mouth. He's a badass. He's a badass cat, but
that's incredible.
He obviously had worked really hard to get that bat, and now there's another one in my garage. And so I pulled my car down around so Scott could park out here, and I'm walking up, and a freaking snake like jumps out in front of me and scared the shit out of me right before we started recording. I don't know how we got on this subject of camel crickets. Because the name the camel crickets.
The name the camel crickets. But
still
yes,
out there.
So Charlie Johnson is now the artist we're currently talking about.
Charlie Johnson. He's leading the band called the Big Little Show Band. In 1959, keyboardist Max Crook joins the Big Little
And
Show
this
band.
changes things.
Okay.
It does.
Yes.
Because he plays an instrument called a Musitron, which is basically an instrument that he invented.
Insane.
Which I think is pretty cool. Which more invented might be a stretch. He more modified an already existing instrument. But for the purposes of this podcast, we're going to give him credit as the inventor of the Musitron.
Well, and we're going to get to the song in a second, but you could also give a lot of credit to this invention being a big part of this song's success.
I mean, could you imagine? Think about how cool it would be to invent an instrument and basically inventing a sound and then using that in your hit. And I think that's really cool. I can't imagine doing that. Do you ever tinker with stuff and try to you do a little bit?
I do. I tinker with a lot of things, but that goes to mention kind of this. So inventions and modifications are like easily a different thing, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like most people give people invention credit for modifications.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I know not everybody, but some people will be like, well, Eddie Van Halen invented the tapping technique, right? But he didn't. Tapping was before him. He modified tapping to create it and make it the way it is for Van Halen, but he didn't invent it. But I hear people always say, well, he invented tapping. Like, no, he didn't invent it. He modified it, but he modified it in a way that was so like important and interesting. You could give that invention credit, right?
Well, I think that there's a couple things that you could even throw out from like the 90s and 2000s, right? Like, the first one that jumps to my mind, President's United States of America, like completely modified guitars and basses to create an instrument that
they play a one-string bass.
Yeah, like they created like a thing that has its own unique sound. Or even just last night, you were playing with Wheatus. Like, I know that Brendan does tons of weird modifications to his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like he's playing an acoustic guitar, but it sounds like no other acoustic guitar I've ever heard someone play.
We are skewing slightly from an actual building a piece of equipment as opposed to techniques and things like I think about McGee too. I don't know if you're familiar with McGee. He played Saturday Night Live in the past season.
Okay.
He's a young dude, probably 26, 27 years old, but his sound is so, he's a guitarist and songwriter, but his sound is so, like the second you hear it, you know it's him because he runs his guitar tracks through like multiple 4 tracks and like it's just he has a guitar tone that I'm talking a split second. Oh, that's McGee. Like he plays on one of the songs on the new Bon Iver album, and I didn't know he did. And the second I heard it, I'm like, oh, that's McGee. Like his guitar tone is so recognizable.
That is so rare too.
Yeah,
it is. You know, it's Santana. Okay, that's a perfect example. The second you hear Santana start playing, you're like, oh, that's Santana. This guy's like that. I think that's something that's pretty cool and rare to be able to instantly recognize who it is. I mean, I guess there's probably, do you think there are drummers there has to be drummers that way too.
I mean, you always do hear that like, the obvious answer that everyone goes to is like Ringo Starr. That like Ringo Starr has this style in which he plays that even if you didn't know you were listening to a Beatles song, you would be like, that drumming sounds very Beatles-esque.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
Because it was so like loose and like weird.
Another, I think Flea.
There's a Flea bass line the second you hear it.
We recently did Bust a Move, and it's obviously Flea playing on that song.
Yeah, okay.
And then you hear You Ought to Know, Alanis Morissette. It's obviously Flea. If you listen for 1 second, like, oh, that's Flea.
Yeah, they like mix that bass really low, but if you pay attention to the bass, it's like there are way too many extra parts that don't need to be there for it to be a studio bassist.
Yeah, right.
Drummer wise, what? This always escapes, like names escape me. Like Rolling Stones drummer.
I have
Charlie, whatever. Yeah.
I can't. Anyway, he does where he'll play a thing where every time he hits a snare, he doesn't hit his hi-hat. And that's pretty like his thing. Yeah, like Dana Carey maybe.
This is a guy from Tool, maybe.
Yeah.
Buddy Rich, when he's doing stuff, I guess.
I'm way more of a nerd of this than most people, but like as a person who loves Primus, I feel like you can tell which drummer is which on Primus tracks just because of how very uniquely
Well,
different.
the easier thing to say would have been Les Claypool.
Yeah,
Like,
Les Claypool.
You know, it's Les Claypool the second.
But like, like when you listen to like Frizzle Fry and then you listen to, say, the Brown album, you can instantly be like, that is not the same drummer.
That's a good
Because it's
point.
like it's heavier, it's like a little bit more distorted.
Very sad that he actually quit.
Yeah. No, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
I just had one in my brain that was like, oh, Rush. I mean, Rush is one where I think if any member of Rush guested on someone's album and you didn't know it, you'd immediately be like, I think that might be Geddy Lee.
Yeah, I don't know if drummers have the luxury of, like with guitars, if you have a certain tone that's all yours, that I mean, I guess drums could have that. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we're
here.
really off topic.
It's fun, but yeah.
Yeah, back to
The
Max
point
Crook.
being, Max Crook rules.
Yeah, Max Crook is pretty cool. On top of inventing this modification of what was called a clavioline, that was the original instrument we're talking about, he also was the one who convinced Ann Arbor DJ Ole McLaughlin to listen to the band. And then this DJ took the group's demos to Talent Arts of Detroit. And at that point, by July 1960, Charles Westover, who will soon become Del Shannon, and Max Crooks signed to become recording artists and composers for Big Top Records. Now, Harry Bulk, he was the A&R guy at Big Top, suggested that Charles Westover use a new name, and they came up with Del Shannon. It combined Mark Shannon, who is a wrestler who used to wrestle like at the High-Low Club where the Moonlight Ramblers played, with Del, which was derived from the Cadillac Coupe de Ville, which was Charles Westover's favorite car. So Del Shannon. Del Shannon.
Pretty interesting.
I guess Del Shannon.
It's better than
Charles Westover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Charlie Johnson.
and Charlie Johnson.
It's
Like the one, what was it? Was it the Westover one? Sounds better than the Johnson one.
Yeah, I mean, I've never thought about like, I mean, I guess, no, Matt has a name that's Matt Kelly.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Easy
pretty
peasy.
straight.
lemon
That's
squeezy.
fine.
Yeah.
Chris Fafalius is not a very good name.
I disagree. I think your last name is like very interesting.
It's got
But
a
I
lot
feel
of
the same way about I
fuzz.
like despise.
Your last name's hard because even to this day, I've been friends with you for a long time. I'm still like, is it Mellinger or Mellinger? I always forget.
And dude, so it's wrong. We say it wrong.
Okay.
So when we toured Europe, we had our bus driver was a German bus driver, and when he saw my name, he pronounced it Jur, and I was like, well,
Okay.
I said, well, we pronounce. He's like, oh, you're wrong. I'm like, so we do like whatever we Pennsylvanian it, I guess, our family, because it isn't supposed to be Gur, it's supposed to be Mellinger.
Right. But you go Gur.
But I go Gur, and I don't know why they did.
Yeah,
it.
well, to be honest, my last name, I say Fafalius, and it's actually it's probably Fafalios, to be honest. It's an OS.
And
So
that sounds like that's sort of like what we do here in PA.
Yeah,
where It's
yeah.
a listen instead of los.
we yins
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
We, my girlfriend, Marquette, pronounces, we talk about every time she doesn't say picture, she says picture. I'm going to take a picture of that. I'm like, oh, you're going to take a picture of that? That's cool.
I'm really, really like observant now when
Yeah.
when I talk like that. Once you get out of here and you realize, oh man,
yeah, right.
some of these words are just awful to say it that way.
Yeah. I hear my own voice back editing podcasts all
Yeah,
the
and
time.
I know.
I try to be more mindful of things. I definitely never pronounce. I notice it all the time. I don't pronounce the ing at the end of I always just do the in apostrophe. Basically, like, yeah, we were playing down at the We were playing. We weren't playing.
I notice for me when I do interviews with people, I slow down. When I slow down talking,
good.
it helps pronounce things without that.
Right.
When I do like fast and get super excited, that's when I really notice all the O's come out weird. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, I can't.
You get like those people. Matt, you should. Well, Matt has a Delco accent, so he can't really say much. But you should see some of these interviews of Pittsburgh people on the news. They're
Yeah.
like the funniest thing ever.
I do love just in general weird news interviews.
The people on the street, like, why do you interview the people on the street in the first place? They never have anything intelligent to add to the story.
I truly believe that from the second that they interviewed Anton Dawson and they created the Bed Intruder song,
Oh my God,
that
yeah.
every local news station is just hoping that they'll interview someone
Yep.
who's as eccentric as that guy, and they'll get to like pull the monetization from the views of that interview.
What was the
Anything's
one lady that did? I got time for that. That was
I can't remember.
great.
It was like Sweet Brown or something like that.
There's a lot of good ones.
I got bronchitis.
Apparently, kid. We
Yeah.
were talking about apparently, kid. Apparently, I was on the news for the first time. Apparently.
Also, I mean, the king of all of them, I like turtles.
Yeah, there it is.
Of course. I also recently like the what's it to you, newsboy? Or whatever that, you know what I'm talking about? That guy's pretty good. All right, Del Shannon. Back to Del Shannon.
Yeah. So they're signed. He's now officially Del Shannon.
Yes, he's Del Shannon at this point. Flew to New York City, but his first sessions weren't that great. This DJ, Ollie McLaughlin, then persuaded Del Shannon and Max Crooks to rewrite and re-record one of their early songs, originally called Little Runaway, using the Musitron as the lead instrument. So this DJ, Ollie McLaughlin, is really, we see the story over and over on the show, Scott. We saw it with Primitive Radio Gods. We just saw it with Baha Men, where there is either a DJ or an A&R guy who is just the champion of this band, and through the highs and lows, they just stick with them. Wow. And it's really interesting when you see that, someone that just really believes in champions.
God, I wish I had a DJ that cared about me.
Right? We've talked about this a couple times. It'll be the last time I bring it up, but we talked about Primitive Radio Guards. Do you know who they are?
I know that. Yeah, I know that.
They
name.
had the real long song title, like, what's it called?
Standing outside a phone booth with only $1 and change in your pocket.
It was
or
the
something like
90s.
that.
It was like a minor hit or whatever. And the whole time we're doing this episode, we're talking about this. I forget, his initials were JD, like whatever his name was.
Yeah.
The whole time we're like, man, this guy really championed this band because they got dropped from their label. So he started a label and he just kept pushing them like they would have definitely not been a thing anymore.
Yeah.
But he just kept pushing them, kept doing whatever. And we're like, man, this guy really needs credit for like really sticking by this band through everything. And then we got an email later from a guy who's like, hey, that's my friend who, you know, I sent him this episode, like that's my friend. And like, I sent it to him and he's like, wow, no one ever talks about that period in my career. It turns out that the guy we were talking about the whole time was the guy, one of the, I think it's two, or maybe he was the solo owner of Crush Management, which is
I know. I've heard that.
JD.
Yeah.
JD, who's like, you know, he's been on Mark Maron. He's like friends with Maron. And he's like one of the biggest managers in music. Like, you know, Crush Management's like Fall Out Boy, Paramore, you know, all the bands that like I came up with, plus 50 other, Green Day and Weezer are now Crush. Like that guy, we were talking about him not even knowing, like this is where he just
this is
stuck
where he
by
ended
this.
up later.
That's incredible.
So I don't know if this DJ Ollie McLaughlin is necessarily a JD status, but he definitely was a champion of Del Shannon.
I also, while we're here, right, he's recorded Runaway. I want to talk about something that we've talked about before too, which is the quick turnaround time of the 60s.
Oh yeah, the 60s. It was
They recorded this song on January 21st, 1961, and it was released as a single February of 1961.
Could you imagine?
I wish it was like that again. Why are people so stupid about it?
Dude.
Like, honestly, the way people record records now is insane. And I think what they do is you have kind of ruined what, like, look at the Beatles when they would do their song. Like, so many artists back then would record in like a couple hours and the records would come out super quick. Like Black Sabbath did the whole first record in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Zeppelin did like quick records.
But on top of that, the quickness of this is it releases in February. By April, they're playing on Dick Clark's American Bandstand.
It went to number one.
and it
by
went to number
April.
one by April.
By April, we see this a lot with the 60s bands. And now I think, dude, I'm culprit of this. My band's a culprit of this. Long breaks, and it's just... Sometimes you got to just throw it out there and see what happens, and don't have to be so precious about everything. I think we all need reminded of that sometimes, especially since we've reverted back to a singles world. 60s. Yeah. People are releasing 45s and singles. Then we went through, I still believe in the album.
Me
of course
too.
I believe in the album.
I very much do.
I grew up loving albums. I like albums, but we are kind of reverted back to this. It's easier than ever. You can just put it out there. You know, you don't even necessarily need a physical manifestation. Nope. I like the physical.
Me too.
But anyway, it just happened so fast. It's so funny to me to think you record a song on January 21st. 10 to 12 weeks later, it's the number one song in the country.
Yeah. Just a fun fact. The song it dethroned from number 1 was Blue Moon by the Marcells.
Wow.
Now, there's like a million versions of Blue Moon.
That's the one, though, right?
This is my favorite one. This is the one that starts off with the like blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah 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 like
Blue Moon. Runaway actually went to number 1 on April 24th, 1961, which I noted as my negative 19th birthday. It stayed there for 4 weeks. It knocked Blue Moon down to number 2. Number 3 at that moment, April 24th, 1961, was a song called Mother-in-Law by Ernie K. Doe. Do you guys know this song?
I think I do know this song.
Is this like a novelty song?
Kind of, but it's kind of in the vein of like, I wouldn't say Blue Moon necessarily, but somewhere in that world. And it's about like his mother-in-law.
I think I know what this.
It's going to be like, it's like a negative mother-in-law song, like an anti-mother-in-law song, which I think is really funny. Other songs, I tried to look like, when you look at these charts in the 60s, I do feel like maybe like a third of the songs would be songs we don't know by name, but once we heard it, we'd be like, oh yeah, that song. The songs that I definitely noticed was at 42 at this moment was Mama Said by the Shirelles. Do you know what song that is?
That's such a good song.
It is a good song. And one spot below that, I didn't necessarily know this song, but I listened to it just to see if I know it. But it was Where the Boys Are by Connie Francis. And I only made note of that because back in the day when myself and PJ and Jers would go to karaoke on Wednesday nights or Thursday nights at this bar by where we grew up, our karaoke team name was Where the Boys Are. I don't know why it was called that. Hey there, One Hit Thunder listeners. Are you ready to take your music to the next level? Well, get ready to rock because this episode is brought to you by DistroKid, the ultimate digital music distribution service for artists like you. With DistroKid, you can easily upload your songs or albums to online stores and streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music, reaching fans all around the globe. But that's just the beginning. DistroKid offers a ton of awesome features like Hyperfollow, which helps you promote your releases and get pre-saves on your songs, all for free. But wait, there's more. The DistroKid app is now available on iOS and Android. With the app, you can manage your releases, track your streaming stats, and even withdraw your earnings, all from the palm of your hand. And for those looking to perfect their sound, check out Mixia. This powerful tool allows you to put the finishing touches on your tracks in minutes, ensuring they sound polished and professional every time. But that's not all. DistroKid has just launched a brand new feature called Instant Share, allowing you to easily share large files securely with collaborators, producers, and more. With Instant Share, you can keep your music streaming at the highest quality while making the best impression possible. So what are you waiting for? Elevate your music career today with DistroKid and unlock a world of possibilities. Possibilities that I know all about because I've been using DistroKid for years. It's seriously great. If you haven't used it before, you're going to love it. And One Hit Thunder listeners get an exclusive offer, 30% off your first year with DistroKid by signing up at distrokid.com/VIP/OneHitThunder. That's distrokid.com/VIP/OneHitThunder.
Close your eyes, exhale, feel your body relax, and let go of whatever you're carrying today.
Well, I'm letting go of the worry that I wouldn't get my new contacts in time for this class. I got them delivered free from 1-800-CONTACTS. Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
And breathe.
Oh, sorry. I almost couldn't breathe when I saw the discount they gave me on my first order. Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Visit 1-800-CONTACTS.com today to save on your first order.
1-800-CONTACTS.
The spirit of innovation is deeply ingrained in America, and Google is helping Americans innovate in ways both big and small. From improving emergency response times to protecting against cyber attacks, local, state, and federal governments are innovating with Google AI. This is a new era of American innovation. Find out more at g.co/American Innovation.
The McDonald's Snack Wrap is back. You brought it back. Ranch Snack Wrap. Spicy Snack Wrap. You broke the internet for a snack. Snack Wrap is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
The Red Hot Clearance event is on right now at Burlington, and I'm excited for the markdowns. It's all about savings on top of savings throughout the store. This is when I stock up on styles for my closet, home decor, and much more because there's up to 70% off other retailers' prices on clearance. I mean, I'm going every day because these prices, too hot to miss. Burlington. Deals, brands, wow. Styles and selections may vary by location.
Hey, one-hit thunders, thunderheads, thunder buns. All right, I'll just go with one-hit thunder listeners. This is Krista Makes, guitarist and vocalist for Less Than Jake, and host of Krista Makes a Podcast, a songwriting podcast where every week I'm joined by an amazing guest to break down the writing, recording, and release of one iconic song that they have written. In our giant evergreen back catalog of episodes, we've had rock legends such as Dee Snider and Huey Lewis, punk rock favorites such as Mark Hoppus, Fat Mike, and Brett Gurewitz, up-and-coming artists of today such as Liz Stokes of the Beths and Genesis Owusu, and even some of the artists that have been featured on One Hit Thunder. The show is even produced by One Hit Thunder host Chris Fafalius. What more could you possibly ask for? Krista Makes a Podcast is available for free on all the places you listen to podcasts, and new episodes come out every Monday. I guarantee you'll like it, or we'll give you your money back.
Also on this song, though, it became the number 5 song of the year.
Okay.
So at the end of the year, it was the 5th most popular song of 1961. The songs above it was Roy Orbison, Cryin', was number 4. The Highwayman, Michael, was number 3. Number 2, a song I fucking love, Patsy Cline's I Fall to Pieces.
Great song.
And then number 1, I don't know at all, Bobby Lewis's Tossin' and Turnin'.
I bet you it's one of those songs.
I know that. See, like even Mother-in-Law, like I know those songs because it's like my dad listened to all this stuff. I know those songs. That's actually something I was going to bring up about once we get to the whole high pitchy singing thing, the Roy Orbison thing.
Yeah,
because that's like his claim too. And I wondered if so it seems like they were about the same time period.
Well, I mean, I think we can jump a little bit later in the story. When Roy Orbison died, Del Shannon was in contention to be the replacement for him in the Traveling Wilburys at one point.
I did not know that.
Like they were like strongly considering, we should get Del to fill in instead.
No, well, dude, there it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
This Del Shannon, he really, for a guy that I would guess that probably 80% of the people listening to this episode right now don't know who Del Shannon is. If you guys, before we did this, would have said Del Shannon, I wouldn't have been able to name.
You know what's weird too about him? I remember seeing like later video of him, and he looks sort of like John Fogerty too.
Yeah,
and I'm like, wait, is that no?
Did you watch the video of him performing on David Letterman?
Oh yeah, I did watch that.
It's a great performance. Did you watch that?
It's actually pretty awesome.
It's him with Paul Scheer.
Yep.
They do Runaway, or Paul Schaefer. Paul Schaefer.
Maybe also is the comedian Paul Scheer.
They do Runaway on there for like the 30-year anniversary of the song. Or whatever.
If you watch that video too, when he does the high part, he looks over at him and they like smile at each other because they were waiting to see if he could hit it. I think.
The man. Yeah, that is funny how like if you do something in a song, Scott, I'm sure you have, maybe guitar wise, have you done something in a song where that it's time to play it live and you're like, oh, why the fuck did I do that?
All the time.
Yeah, right. We all do.
Half of the time we don't play songs because I'm like, shit, I can't remember how I played that. And then I learn it. I'm like, I can't hit it right. And you're so self-conscious about it.
Yeah, but imagine high note
like
type
that's
things.
It. Yeah.
You're doing it to yourself. I mean, but on the other hand, it might be what makes the song a hit.
That's it.
It could be, and I got to say, so this song went to number 1. There is a sort of vibe to this song, especially when it starts. It puts me in the mind of like a song that would come way later, like that Fastball the Way or something. There's something
very similar rambling guitar riff.
Yeah, it's like it feels like you're driving through the desert. Mm-hmm. That's the only way I can describe it visually. And his next song, Hats Off to Larry, which actually went to number 5. So we are calling Del Shannon a one-hit wonder, but I don't know if that many people remember Hats Off to Larry. That went to number 5 by July 31st of that same year. This one is also good. The synth sounds crazy in this one. I feel like the synth is even more highlighted in this song. But the song The next song that he had that was kind of a hit was years later, was a song called Keep Searching, We'll Follow the Sun, which went to number 9 on January 30th of 1965. This one, once again, has that, like, I call it like a desert feel. That's the only way I could put it. It's
That's
like
interesting.
Something about the arpeggiation of the guitar riff and you called it rambling. I guess that's the good way to describe
like
it.
Sort of.
Like, what would you call that? What style?
Well, because I think the big thing with Del Shannon, and this is like kind of indicative. Oh my God, whatever.
Indicative is the word you're looking for.
Of early 50s and 60s rock and roll in general, is that big, like we said in the beginning, he grew up on like Hank Williams Sr. and country and western, and it's that melding of that country, that outlaw country sound.
But I think there is a term for that. Like,
I'm sure
that like picked out, like kind of like.
Yeah, there's a certain rhythm to the way you play. It's almost like a strum and then like a slower.
It's weird too that he doesn't have tremolo, because like it seems like everybody in the 50s and 60s used tremolo on their guitar.
Okay,
and I'm surprised. Yeah, there's no tremolo, but that tremolo gives you that sort of like that feeling of that.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of it adds a little drama, a little mystery, a little what's going on here? It's vibey and it's cool. You know,
nobody really does it anymore.
That fastball song is the last song I can think of.
That's 1999.
Yeah, right.
26 years ago.
You know who else loved that type of guitar? David Lynch.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, all of Twin Peaks.
It's
like,
the David Lynch guitar style, honestly.
Like, it's a throwback to Western music. If there's country and Western, it's more on the Western side. Yeah.
So I want to talk about the actual song. Now the song is like popped off. It's huge. So first off, my early exposure to this song was I was a weird kid, and like kids wake up crazy early. I just wanted to watch TV. I would find myself on Saturday mornings at like 5 or 6 in the morning before Saturday morning cartoons came on, watching infomercials for like the hits of the 50s CDs. And I was like, these songs fucking rule. And that was how I first heard of this song. Looking back on it, like I had not really thought about this song for years. When you picked it and we started diving into it, I was like, this is one of those songs where there are arguably 4 different hooks in this like 2 minute and 16 second song, because that opening verse, that like as I wonder, like that's catchy. The keyboard part that we were talking about is catchy. When you first came in, we were talking about the falsetto, the wah 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 wah. But to me, the best part about this song is that I'm walking in the rain. Like that is when it's like, oh, this is a fucking rock and roll song. Like it starts country, that's when it becomes like a rock song again.
When this song starts, I can't believe it gets to a part with the falsetto why. I can't believe it's the same song, to be honest. Like when I put it on, I'm like, wait, what song is this? And I'm like, oh, it's this song. It's a real journey. There's a lot goes on. There's a lot to like. There's a lot to like grab onto. If that's your favorite part of the song, someone else's might be that falsetto part.
Or
someone else's might be that vibe.
I mean, literally the end of the song is like, just go fucking crazy on the keyboard for a while.
Yeah. He had some other hits. Little Town Flirt went to number 12 in 1963. It's fine. Sea of Love. Well, we'll get to Sea of Love.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. That's a big
way
deal.
later. But by August 1963, his relationship with his managers and Big Top Records went south. So he formed his own label, Burley Records, named after his parents. He combined their 2 names. And he returned to the charts with Keep Searching at this point. We talked about that song. By late 1964, he produced, this is crazy. 1964. So this is in between. He did have another hit in the 60s after this. He produced a demo for a young fellow Michigander. Do you know who this is, Scott? He doesn't know.
It's Michigan 60s. Oh, no.
For a little artist named Bob Seger.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Del Shannon essentially discovered Bob Seger.
Yep.
See,
By 1966, Bob Seger was recording for Philadelphia's Cameo Records, which eventually led to a deal with Capitol Records. Shannon then signed with Liberty Records. A lot of these record labels, I'm saying their names, but like I don't really know a lot about them.
Yeah, they probably were top. Like they come up real quick and go.
Yeah, but by 1966, he released his cover of the Rolling Stones' Under My Thumb. Interesting.
Wow.
And then in September 1967, he began laying down tracks for his album, The Further Adventures of Charles Westover, which is pretty cool. It was highly regarded by fans and critics, but it did not sell well. I really don't know what he did between 1967 and 1975.
So what I saw was there was a lot of alcoholism.
Okay. All
so
right,
he started getting drunk a lot more. And then it was in 1978 is when he finally started to sober up. And that's when we get to Sea of Love, which I think is awesome. Do you know anything about Del Shannon's Sea of Love, Scott?
No. So it doesn't have anything to do with the Sea of Love that I'm thinking, right? Like the big Sea of Love song? Isn't there like a...
Oh, yeah. No. This was like a minor hit at all.
Okay.
But it was on an album that he put out called Drop Down and Get Me.
Okay.
That was produced by Tom Petty.
Yeah.
What?
And it took them 2 years to record, and Del's backing band on that record it's just the Heartbreakers.
Of course.
Tom Petty just brought in the Heartbreakers to be Del Shannon's backup band.
How many records have... Like, I didn't realize Tom Petty was... Because obviously Jeff Lynne is the guy that does that for everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Tom Petty ever really produced, somebody like from the past or whatever.
It seems like, and I mean, talk about fun things to do if you are mega successful.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were highly influenced by somebody and you see a chance to like reach out a helping hand and be like, I'm going to produce your record and stuff because you are a huge influence on me, and try to pull you out. You know, obviously Del Shannon had some problems and stuff and try to help out and stuff. I just think that's like the coolest thing ever. Like,
it really, I mean, that's kind of like the full circle thing for musicians or any artist, right?
Right.
Like being able to do that.
And you mentioned Jeff Lynne. Jeff Lynne also produced his album after the Tom Petty album, which again makes sense why the Traveling Wilburys were like, maybe Del should be in our band.
That's a good I didn't realize there was that many connections.
One little side story that I think is pretty cool. In 1975, Del Shannon and his manager at that point, they wanted to get, they sought out the back royalties for the Del Shannon songs. So they formed Bug Music in 1975 as like their company to do this. By 2011, so many years later, Bug was acquired by BMG, and that catalog for Bug Music had grown to include 250,000 compositions. They had under their umbrella Johnny Cash, Los Lobos, Iggy Pop and the Stooges, 3-6 Mafia, Muddy Waters, Woody Guthrie, John Prine, as well as, this is funny, the themes and background music for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the English dub of Digimon. 250,000 compositions were under this Bug Music, which they just formed to get royalties for their own songs.
Makes sense.
Turned into this huge thing.
That's crazy.
You are right. The 70s thing was because of alcoholism, Matt. But
then the story gets sad as we enter the 90s. He was working on a new album. He was scheduling a bunch of concerts, and he was starting to have stress over all of it.
Mm-hmm.
He went to a doctor on January 24th, and he began to take Prozac. And then 15 days later, he killed himself, shooting himself with a rifle. His wife said that she kind of was like, he wasn't the same person for like those 2 weeks. Like
I've never heard a story about Prozac having a negative effect.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that this is the case, but his wife said he was very much in charge of his business, but within days after taking Prozac, I noticed a personality change in him. He developed severe insomnia, extreme fatigue, chills, racing heart, dry mouth, upset stomach, she testified. Suicide was totally out of character for my husband. There was no note and no goodbye. I can't even really comment on it other than to say, like, was it that he was so in such a bad way that the Prozac wasn't enough to help him? Or was it
he overtaking it too? Like, was he taking more than recommended? I have no clue.
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of Prozac enough to even comment on
this.
Get it together, Chris. Figure it out.
I wouldn't think that would be a catalyst for that. Like you would think that it would.
And am I wrong in saying that Prozac is
that's one of the oldest antidepressants.
well. Also, isn't it something that you take? It's not like an instantaneous thing, isn't it? Something that has to
well, that's what Barb. So when I read this to Barb, who has worked in hospitals and stuff, she's like, it takes like 2 months for that to even enter
regulate
your bloodstream enough to do anything.
So we don't know.
Yeah,
it may not have been it may have been that it wasn't, he needed more help than that or whatever. That's not the important thing. The important thing is here, sadly, he killed himself.
And then the Wilburys recorded a cover of Runaway as a tribute to him, and Jeff Lynne took whatever he was recording and produced the final album to release after his death.
That's
so
insane.
Clearly very beloved by all of the members of the Traveling Wilburys.
It seems like a very, we talk about there are certain bands that are bands.
Yeah.
He seems like an artist or whatever you want to call him. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1999, so 8 years later after he died. Seems like a pretty legendary dude that I finished reading all this stuff and learning all this stuff and being like, damn, there's a lot of stuff I don't know about. For a guy who's played rock music for most of my life, there's still so much music out there and so many like amazing artists. Then hey, maybe that's the benefit of doing this show, right?
Yeah,
sometimes we learn about Del Shannon.
Yeah, listen, there's never going to be enough time to hear it all.
Yeah, but we can. That can't stop us from trying.
100%. I'm just saying, don't beat yourself up. There will never be enough time to know every artist.
But is there enough time to stop you from trying to win this game?
No, nothing will stop me. Let's do this.
You want to play a game?
I'm so ready.
If you could buzz in by singing falsetto. No, I won't make you sing
falsetto.
Don't do that to me. Yeah. Oh yeah, Matt's struggling. Lost his voice a little bit. Okay, you could buzz in by saying "Runaway" or something.
Okay, I like
if
that.
you get it without the multiple choice, you get 2 points. If neither of you can get it without the multiple choice, I can read the multiple choice for 1 point. If you buzz in to get it without the multiple choice and you miss it, you're going to get -1 point.
Okay.
So you got to really be sure. You won't get a -1 if you take a shot on the multiple choice.
Okay.
The third ever Grammy Awards were held on April 12th, 1961. Album of the Year went to The Button-Down Mind of this comedian, who also won Best New Artist.
Okay, I'm going to take a risk here. Runaway.
Go ahead.
Alan Sherman?
That is incorrect.
Damn it.
-1 for Matt. You can still get the multiple choice if you want it.
Let's go to multiple choice, yeah.
And the reason I did this is when Runaway was a hit around this time. So Album of the Year went to The Button-Down Mind of this comedian, who also won Best New Artist at the Grammys. So Album of the Year and Best New Artist went to a comedian. A, Peter Sellers. B, Lenny Bruce. C, Bob Newhart. D, Jerry Lewis.
Oh, I'm going to go Jerry Lewis.
That is incorrect.
It's Bob Newhart,
It's
isn't
Bob
it?
Newhart.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Bob Newhart was huge at the Grammys that year. All right. It's -1 to 0.
Okay.
On April 23rd, one day before Runaway hit #1, on April 23rd of 1961, this singer and actress and mother of Liza Minnelli appeared in concert at Carnegie Hall.
Runaway.
Go ahead.
Judy Garland.
You got it. 2 points.
Why was I was so off.
Anyway, she appeared in concert, and that event was recorded for a double live album, and she won Grammy for Album of the Year. The first ever by a female artist was Judy Garland. Good job, man. 2-1, Matt.
2-0, sir.
2-0, yeah.
2-0.
Yeah, I got 0.
Oh, right.
I didn't lose one, but I didn't get anything.
Right. 0. No. You got
1-0, right?
1-0.
Yeah.
You were at
you're
-1.
minus.
I was at -1. Oh,
Yeah.
it's 2 points. Yes, correct.
Okay, 1-0.
1-0.
My bad.
There we go.
Man,
We got it. We're good.
math is
1-0.
rough. Okay. On April 30th of 1961, this baseball player, who later Wesley Snipes would have a character named after.
Runaway.
Go.
Willie Mays.
You got
Damn
it.
it.
Would you have known that?
Yeah, because I like Major League.
Okay.
Willie Mays Hayes.
Yep. So it's 2-1 Scott. Here we go. This Scottish pop singer, known for her performance of I Dreamed a Dream on Britain's Got Talent, was born on April 1st of 1961.
Runaway.
Go ahead.
Susan Boyle.
You got it.
Yes!
Damn it, I couldn't remember her name.
3-2 Matt now. We got a good game. We got 3 questions left. Del Shannon's second biggest hit was Hats Off to Larry. Who played Larry on the hit 80s/90s ABC sitcom Perfect Strangers?
Multiple choice.
Go do the multiple choice.
Multiple choice.
A. Mark Lynn Baker. B. Bronson Pinchot.
That's it. Bronson Pinchot.
Damn it.
That's wrong.
What?
Oh, keep going.
C. Howard Hessman. Or D. Michael Gross.
I'm going to say D. Michael Gross.
That's
then.
incorrect. Michael Gross was the dad on Family Ties. Mark Lynn Baker was Larry. Balky was Bronson
What am I
Pinchot.
thinking? Oh, okay. I heard Perfect Strangers. Good call. Okay.
All right. Still 3-2, Matt, right?
Well, I mean, he guessed.
Yeah, so I get a negative.
No, multiple choice, there's no negatives.
Multiple
That's right.
choice, there's no
I see.
negative. It's only if you do it without the multiple
Yeah,
choice.
so 3-2.
Okay.
Here we go. Del Shannon's last Hot 100 hit was Sea of Love in 1982. 7 years later, the film Sea of Love was released, starring what?
Runaway.
Go ahead.
Kevin Spacey.
That's incorrect.
What?
Starring what Academy Award-winning Italian-American actor?
I'm going to just say multiple choice.
Okay. A. John Travolta. B. Nicolas Cage. C. Robert De Niro. Or D. Al Pacino.
I'm going to say D. Al Pacino.
You got it.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm an idiot. It's the movie Sea of Love, not this movie about the singer for Sea of Love.
Yeah, it was the movie Sea of Love.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do
so
with
they did a movie about the guy, Bobby Darin.
Yes.
Isn't that the Sea of Love singer?
Beneath the Sea.
Or Beneath, that's
Beneath
what
the
it
Sea.
is.
Wow.
Somewhere beneath the sea.
I'm not good with stress.
So it's 4-2, Matt,
Yep.
within the last question. So Scott actually needs to get this
Yeah, I
one
have to,
without
like,
the multiple
no
choice.
Just a tie.
Just a tie.
Oh, man.
You might be able to get it, though.
We'll see. I don't know.
Del Shannon was born 1 month after this American astronomer and planetary scientist known for his award-winning 1980 TV series, Cosmos.
Is it Neil deGrasse Tyson? Neil deGrasse.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
Yes.
I know it.
Multiple choice.
I know it. I know
A.
it. Oh, I can't believe
Edwin
I just...
Hubble.
No.
B. Neil deGrasse Tyson. C. Carl Sagan.
Carl Sagan.
Or D.
It's
Jonas
Carl
Salk.
Sagan.
I knew
Dang.
it. I knew it.
Scott.
When
it's
you
okay,
said
man.
Cosmos, because they redid
They
it.
redid it with Neil deGrasse
That's
Tyson
right.
in recent years, yeah. By Carl Sagan.
Carl Sagan did the original.
Yep. Carl Sagan, famous for the pale blue dot.
Yes.
quote. Very amazing. I actually have a framed picture of that in my room.
That's beautiful.
How do we feel about Del Shannon, thunder or blunder?
I'm all thunder here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think we have to debate this very much because the guy is obviously hugely influential. The song is great.
Yep.
You know what? I will say more credit needs to go also to Max Crooks because he is a huge piece of this song rolling.
Yeah, Max Crooks
He
was
did get a songwriter credit
Yeah,
too, right?
Yeah, I mean,
But
it
I
was a
just
big,
mean that keyboard lick
Is pretty huge.
really is a huge part of the song's success.
a big part of this song and also a big part of, it sounds like, getting the song popular. Like he was
Yeah.
the go-getter and person that helped. So, Scott, thanks for coming on the
Hey,
show, man.
anytime.
Hey,
I'm
you got
so happy.
anything to plug? You got anything coming up? Check out Zayo.
Yeah, we're playing a bunch in the summer.
Nice.
What else are we doing? I don't think there's anything else.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, listen to Zayo, everybody.
This has been One Hit Thunder. One Hit Thunder is hosted by Chris Afios of the band Punchline and produced by Matt Kelly of Geekscape.net. Underneath me, you're hearing Sensory Overload off the Punchline album Lion. Go to punchlinemusic.com for merch and to find out information about upcoming shows. Our podcast is on Patreon, so find us at patreon.com/OHT podcast for early access to episodes, bonus conversations, and a chance to vote on future songs for us to cover. Buy some merch from us at our merch store at onehitthunder.dashery.com and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe on any podcasting app and tune in next week for more One Hit Thunder.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.